A little bit of technical difficulties, guys. Thank you guys for being here. I'm figuring it out. Just give me about 5 more minutes or so, and we will begin. Thank you guys so much again for being here. Hey, Noah. Hey, Rachel. Hey, Jocelyn. Hey, everybody. Hey, Rock. Everybody that's in the chat will be starting in a second. Officially, guys, 60 seconds. The show will begin in 60 seconds. Thank you guys so much for being here. It's going to be fun. Hopefully, you guys are all right. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let the show begin. Hey there, everybody. Thank you for bearing with me. Had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we figured it out. So it's a weird dynamic, but we're all here. Wow, we got a lot of people here in the chat, chatting away, getting to know each other. Whew. You guys are amazing community. Oh, wow. Okay. Hey, Ken. Hey, Amy. Hey, Noah. Hey, Jocelyn. Hey, Rock. Hey, Rachel. Oh, man. Everybody's here. And as more trickle in, we'll get started here in a second. You guys are amazing. All right, let me figure some things. So what was going on was the thing that I stream on, the service wasn't working on my laptop, so I had to last second put it on my desktop and figure it out. Shenanigans. It's crazy. Then I just worked on my video for Thursday, the Six Flags video that's coming up. Whew, man. So gotta drink some tea, my voice. Yummy, good. Hopefully everybody's doing good though. Let's see. So you hope that the let me pull it up. Pull it up, make this bigger, pull it up. Okay. No, I liked it the way it was. Okay, so you hope that the parks open up soon. Well, that's going to be the first thing we talk about. There's a new thing that just happened as far as new news, which I'm going to break to you guys first. You might have heard it a little bit here and there, but if not, you'll hear it here. So some new news I'll be talking about that's really interesting. And it begins with the companies that steamroll this whole thing. So some things are going to be in the works within the next month and a half or so. Yep. Yeah. So the Something Water Festival at Virginia Beach has been moved to April 2021. Yeah, a lot of things have been moved to different dates. Completely, like for example, Legoland in New York is just been postponed period till 2021. While some other things have continued, so it's a lot going on, but people are handling it very well. But yeah. Amy says I can't wait to see what's new. Yeah. You'll see. And matter of fact, let's jump into it right now. All right. Let me put my drink down. I don't want to spill it. I don't want to burn myself. But before we continue, if you guys can smash that like button, show your love and support for what's about to come. We're going to get into it right now. Whew, I'm ready. Let's dive right into it. So, without further ado, oh my goodness. I have a $9.99 super chat from Jocelyn Blake Nolani. Awesome stream. You're so amazing. That's my first super chat. Yes, guys. Yes, I'm now monetized, and if you guys want to, it's not required or mandatory. You can, help out the channel, which definitely does help by donating and supporting the channel. You can do it in multiple ways, which I'll have a video coming out later on. But wow, yes, $9.99 super chat. That is amazing. Thank you so much. But yes, without further ado, so Disney and Universal have launched a plan, which I'm going to pull it up for you guys in a second while I talk. They have launched a plan for the parks to reopen. May is not likely, they say, but the parks plan to open up in June. And it's going to be at a limited capacity. Sorry, I'm trying to pull this up while I talk to you about it. Pull this up right here, make sure that it's good. Yeah. Okay, so there's two different dynamics to it. There's Disney, which is a bigger park, Universal, Busch Gardens, things like that. And then they also have this guideline for Florida parks that are smaller, such as Top Golf, Fun Spot, Andretti's Go-Kart, Icon 360, that park, and Gatorland. So all that's going on. So let me pulled it up on the wrong one. So pretty much I'll read over it since everything got flipped backwards. So yes, the smaller parks, Top Golf and all those ones that I mentioned to you, they're going to have tape markings of 6 feet apart, just like how you might have seen at the grocery stores and stuff. So for the rides, attractions, queue lines, you will have to be spaced 6 feet apart from that next individual. So as of now, they're going to operate. There's different phases. They're going to operate. Phase one is going to begin at the parks being only at 50% capacity. So let me pull the chat back up. 50% capacity rather than, of course, 100%, because we got to ease into this. I like the steps that they are taking and the phases that it's in a phase step. So they're also going to be wiping down surfaces like they were beforehand, but definitely heavily now with that heavy duty stuff out there to clean everything. Also, with phase one, they're recommending individuals that are 65 and older to just not go to the parks at all. And that kind of goes with in general to not go out really if you don't need to. So they're advising to stay home. So first things first, the mandates. All employees are required to wear, will be required to wear face mask, touchless hand sanitizer at each ticketing entry and turnstiles, touchless hand sanitizer at each ride and attraction entry and exit. Now, to pause really quick, I wonder if they're going to have people kind of like they do at the Disney cruise ships at the buffets. They stop people, make sure that you use, or rather when you enter, make sure that you use the hand sanitizer before you touch the tongs or anything else. So I think that'll be really good for them to do, because people aren't going to follow the rules. They already aren't in some aspects. So for them to add the sanitizer stations are really good. So Ken, to answer your question, you hope the parks open up soon. This is looking really good. They're aiming for June. And now why I said the big dogs that are doing it is really good is because when Disney announced that they were going to shut down, pretty much everything kind of like spiraled after that. They were like the biggest dogs out of everybody, the biggest conglomerate to close. So everybody following that, it was like a Friday, everybody closed after that. So this is really good for them to take steps. Now they're going to have the temperature checks. Now this is the interesting part in two ways, especially for theme parks that are in the South per se. So they're gonna have the temperature checks where if you have a temperature of 100.4, you must not enter the premises at all. So that's crazy, because the reason I say that is in the South on a super hot day, July, August, whatever, it can get really hot and it can shift people's temperatures. So they're going to have to, which they are from what I've read, they're going to work out something Disney wise. It's going to work out with a company to have different type of scanners to make sure that it's accurate reading or accurate enough. So that's interesting. And also, same thing with employees. If they feel sick, they're going to have to stay home and whatnot. But that's phase one of that, where, and again, 50% capacity. But the second part, phase two, all the same things and more that they'll announce a little bit later, but they're going to start doing 75% capacity. Now, Disney's going to do, they're most likely, which they said, they're going to start out with annual pass holder or Florida residents first, and then annual pass holders, and then they're going to do domestic guests like from other states, and then later on, we don't know when, international guests will be able to go to the parks. So, man, it's crazy. And I know I'm talking about this, but this is something breaking news big that I wanted to get to before we continue on with everything else, and I'll get to the chat in a second. So I'm not neglecting you all, but so they're going to have that. So that was for smaller parks, actually. For the larger theme parks, the Disneys and everything, they're going to have the pretty much the same things going on. And I like the 6 feet apart thing, but that's going to limit certain rides because certain queue lines have the cattle pen waiting system. So you're really close to people and you can't really dodge that fact. Also, some shows which we'll talk about soon will be cut period, and also parades and stuff are going to be limited of capacity, which we'll talk about how Shanghai Disney is already have their employees back at the park, and they're figuring out the way they're going to go about it. So yeah, I like that though. Which we can go into and talk about what that's a really good thing. So Disney, Universal, Busch Gardens, all the fun spots, Gatorland, the parks like that are opening back up. They're aiming for June, which goes along with last week. We talked about, and I announced to you guys that what is it? Kennywood plans to open up in June, early June at that. So a lot of great news coming about with Six Flags Over Georgia saying right before Memorial Day weekend. I don't know if that's going to happen, but they're aiming for it, especially with Georgia being like one of the first states to open back up. Say what you want about that. It's up to you, your opinion. But just speaking on that, they plan to open back up, or they already started open back up, but not really mass gathering locations such as malls, theme parks, things like that, bars, clubs. So maybe depending on how this week goes, they may do some things. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes as far as Georgia and other states that'll follow behind it, while other states are really, really hurting, including actually Georgia, in regards to that. So yeah. So mentioning Shanghai Disney, their cast members are back, which is really good. They've been testing new social distancing protocols that Disney is trying to do with Disneyland and Walt Disney World. Now, as far as Disneyland, I do not see them opening up anytime soon. Definitely Florida's location will be opened up before then, because California still is on that heavy lockdown with like not an end date in sight at the moment. So they're going to pretty much have the guests. So let's say you're riding in the front row of Slinky Dog Dash. We'll just talk about Hollywood Studios, for example. This is what Shanghai Disney is doing. So they'll have somebody in the front row, nobody in the second, or possibly the third. But let's just say they do have somebody in the third. So it'll be first, third, fifth, seventh. Every other seat is what they plan to do to open up the rides, to allow you to ride the rides. So what that means, it's going to be at half capacity. So it will not be at max capacity, which is going to make, which is weird, the line's a lot longer for it. Because if they're running, man, if a train is running on a roller coaster, one train ops, or a ride, one train ops, it's going to get really crazy with it already running at half capacity. The queue lines will get long, and you may not be able to ride that ride. And also, you're standing there, even though you're 6 feet apart. How long will that go about? For example, say if people want to get on Rise of the Resistance, even though it already has the virtual queuing system and you can walk around and then go visit the ride. But what about Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway? How the line was all the way back. When do you cut it off? Is what I'm trying to ask. Let me know what you guys think right now. And those for watching on replay, in the comment section below, how do you think they're going to go about that if the lines get too long? So yeah, Rock says that switchback lines are going to be very interesting. They're going to be really interesting, especially for, to me, smaller theme parks that aren't as big as Disney and Universal and the SeaWorld entertainment chains. How are they going to handle this? Yes, they're going to clean, and follow the guidelines of this, which, by the way, this is just for Florida parks right now. But I think they're being pioneers like Disney usually is. They're going to start this. People are going to start copying this and probably adding a few things later on. So things can definitely be added to it. But yeah. Oh, nice. That King's Dominion, Dominator, Eiffel Tower, Drop Tower. Yeah, they lit up blue. A lot of different parks around the world lit up blue. So I like that though, paying the respects during this time. So that's really good. And definitely shout out to these theme parks for showing love on social media, keeping people optimistic, And also shout out to them just at the parks showing it, where if you were to drive by, it would just be a beautiful image to see. So yeah. But another, yeah, Rachel, Disney plan sounds good. Now, would you go to the park when they reopen? I think I definitely would. Of course, I would wear a mask, and which is crazy, especially like say here where I am in Disney World, being in the South. It would be really hot, especially July or so later on, or now, to wear a mask at the park. But you gotta, take all safety measures and be safe. But they're definitely making all employees, which is, yeah, wear masks at the parks at all time and clean nonstop. So we saw a bit of that like before the parks did close. So that's good. But I know they know what's going on now, and they're definitely gonna take major precautions and safety and stuff to do so. Would be interesting if they tell people to stand in the dead center of the room at Haunted Mansion or have to spread out. Now, I like that. I doubt maybe one or two people might be in the center of the room, but they might have definitely spread out all across that room, and it's definitely going to be low capacity. Or you're thinking of the ride vehicles will be fine, the ride system when you get on the rides, because they're already small as is. But thinking about things like uh, Tower of Terror, the capacity on that for one. Two, how will the ride defer the feeling of it with it being not as many people on the attraction? So there'll be somebody in the front row, possibly somebody in the middle second row, somebody in the front row at the end over here, and then vice versa. So like depending on how many you can see, it'll be like a zigzag motion, in my belief. That's crazy. Woo, let me read some chat a little bit. Let me breathe. Hmm. You guys are amazing. Again, cheers. And green tea with honey is incredible. It is incredible. Have you seen the Blue Angels and Thunderbirds fly over Florida? I have not seen the Blue Angels fly. Oh, well, in video I have. I've seen the Blue Angels fly above me in Seattle. They always do it around late July, early August. It's really loud and it's crazy, but it's really beautiful and it's a big popular thing though. So, yeah, it would be cool if Disney will reopen on June 26th, where I'll be at. Believe it or not, you might just be in luck that it may be the 13th. Let's just say for now, we'll have the strong speculation that we'll say the 13th of June. Around that time, mid-June, they should start implementing this if things do not progress and get way worse. So, yes, mid-June. So you definitely might be in luck, and a lot of people will be out there. Now, it's interesting. It's going to be like an opening date attraction because it kind of is. It's a reopening date. So everybody's probably going to get there early, which is interesting. Let's talk about that. How are they going to do that? Because I know you guys have seen um, people get there for a new attraction or a new land, because I've done it multiple times. It's straight up crowded there. It's wall to wall people, elbow to elbow. You can't get around. How are they going to control that at these parks? And then like the running of the bulls thing, where people are just running to the attractions, they're going to have some form of like organization to like knock off the chaos, because people can't be elbow to elbow at the parks. So, and the reason I'm bringing this up, the elbow to elbow thing at the entrance to try and get into the park, that's because they're going to need to get there early, because of the parks at the beginning are going to be at 50% capacity, then 75, and so on and so forth. You're going to have to be one of those 50% people in the like to get there. So that's interesting how that's going to unfold and how that's going to be, because you don't know when they're going to hit capacity, the new capacity, the 50% capacity. So people are going to get there early, and it's going to be really crazy. It really is. But in a way, I'm all for it as long as people are safe. Um, Yes, Busch Gardens in Williamsburg has definitely some amazing color schemes, and they're definitely that's why they're always voted the most beautiful theme park in the world every year, for years. And we may have a live stream talking about that, like the rankings for like Amusement Insider rankings of the top different things, carousel, water parks, water rides, coasters, wooden coasters, steel, all that stuff. Because man, I've been studying that stuff, and it's crazy. It's crazy some things. So, some things you thought would be on there, and some things you would be surprised about. I thought about fireworks at Disney. Do they not perform them? How do they distance people? Thank you. Good question. That's one of the things that they're thinking about doing. Is let me set this down. Shanghai Disney, along with spreading people out for the parade, which is going to be crazy. So, have you ever been to Disney World at Magic Kingdom, and they had the space blocked out for like the Fast Pass system for people that had that reserved? It's probably going to be taped off in boxes, squares like that, on over, and people may not be able to see the parades from up close. They'll definitely be able to see it far away. But the good thing is it goes around in a circle. But it depends on how much money did you spend, and do you want to see that first show back of the reopening? Now, mentioning of the what's that called? The fireworks. They talked about doing that with like the castle show and everything. They plan to spread people out with the show, but they haven't really told us how they're going to go about doing it. And that's really interesting. But it'll probably be the same way, like here, squares there, 6 feet, squares there, like all taped off, with cast members probably lined up, because Disney, we're talking about Disney. Disney has a lot of cast members. Well, they usually do. Now that's a whole nother ball game we can talk about of how are they going to go about, and when they're going to go about hiring people back, bringing people back, and also there's no college students. So yeah, whole interesting thing. But probably, to my guess, probably they're probably going to do the 6 feet space, 6 feet, and then 6 feet full of people, 6 feet no people, and then so on and so forth to watch the castle show. So it might be a little hectic and frustrating at the beginning, but this may be what it is for a little bit. So I don't know. But that's what I've gathered, and that's what Shanghai Disney is doing, because they've really flattened the curve tremendously, and they're going about it very well. Water Country USA Cutback Water Coaster has the best new water park edition. Yes, it as far as that ride, yes, it did have that record-breaking year of last year. But as far as usually like water rides, Slitter Bomb and Splash and Safari usually run the game of water park rides. It's crazy, of like water park rides, not water rides at theme parks. That's a whole different thing. Now, water parks, the most beautiful water parks, Slitter Bomb has won like 23 years in a row as the most beautiful water park in Texas. And it's located in Texas, but the most beautiful water park in the world. It's crazy. I think Shanghai Disney will open first. Yes, 10%. They'll definitely open up first, Noah. So yeah, as I mentioned, they're already have their cast members actually being paid back at the park and working again. So for sure, they're going to be the first park to open, which is also interesting, as I mentioned last week in the last stream that you guys can check out, that Universal Studios out there, I forgot which one, Singapore. They opened, they closed last. They were good all the way up until this month. So they should be okay because they handled it well. They should be opening up back soon again too. So oh yes, 100% they focus on quality, not quantity, but they do have a bit of both. But definitely the quality's there, and they're the most beautiful theme park in the world. Well, yeah, they're the most beautiful theme park, but they're not considered the best. The best theme park as far as the ratings is Europa Park, and then Cedar Point. Actually, yeah. I have not seen the new logo for Pantheon yet, so I have to check that out when I get off. Which I do love how that ride looks, the theming, the concept of it, and just the ride in general. Yeah, it'll be amazing. Do I think? Great question. Do I think that Six Flags Over Georgia will reopen on May 22nd? There's a strong possibility. They are definitely aiming to not miss that date because, although as I predicted and I made a video about that, they were going to open up the new rides in Gotham City in April for spring break. I do strongly believe, and I've gotten word that that definitely might have been true. They just got hit a lot with different rainstorms and other unfortunate events, and so such as what's going on now. But now with everything stalling out, and then to answer the question, as you know, the Georgia has opened up a lot of things. It depends on how the reopening of different things in Georgia, how it all goes. Do I think May 22nd? It's possible. I definitely believe in June. Again, mid-June, the same thing with Disney, or it might be Disney first, or it could be smaller parks, but really a lot of places are saying June. So May 22nd, it's possible. It's definitely possible. So I don't know how likely, but it is very likely. So it's possible. It just depends on how everything goes. Yeah. But while you guys chat a little bit, Indiana Beach Amusement Park and Resort, guys, as I mentioned to you last week, and you guys might have seen, they said that they were permanently closed because they were hitting bankruptcy. Then they showed us and teased us with the closed, like not they X out permanently and just have closed now, which every theme park's closed right now. Now they have been saved. They have been saved. That one guy named Gene Staples bought the park for his family. Just imagine doing that. Imagine buying a theme park for your family to go visit. Now, it's not just going to be just for them, the guy's kids. It's not just going to be for his kids to go enjoy the park. Indiana Beach Amusement Park was originally actually a let me take this off. Was actually a family-owned park. So it's pretty much going back to that, which is amazing. So they've been saved, which is amazing, and everybody's going to run there. And at some point, if I can this year, I would love to do so as well. So Indiana Beach Amusement Park has been saved. There's no time frame of when it's going to be open. Also, another interesting fact, all the rides were deemed to be sold off with them being closed because they had no idea of when that they were going to open back up. So how do you go about canceling your roller coasters and other rides and attractions being sold to other parks if they were sold? I know they were on the list to be sold, but if they were sold, how do you be like, never mind, 3 weeks later we're gonna open back up, and yeah, I need my rides back. So thanks anyways for trying to save us. So no, that's interesting how they're gonna handle that. So I'm curious. I'm really curious. So another interesting thing that's going on in the theme park news is that Universal Studios and the Lego Group have now partnered up for a 5-year deal plan, which is interesting because it's Lego and Warner have partnered with Universal Studios for 5 years. So for the licensing rights for like them to do different movies, different things with Universal. So you can have the old school monsters, you can have Jaws, you can have E.T., you can have different things in the Lego name. So you can literally have a Jurassic World, like they have the video game. You can have a Jurassic World movie, or they can have at the theme parks, I suppose, they could have different attractions or different things, Jaws related or anything Universal related. So I thought that was interesting. Now, on the other side with this, how I mentioned that with like Warner, with Batman and everything else. Now, we all know that Six Flags has that partnership with Warner. Now, why don't they have these rights with Legos, or why aren't people partnering up with them? Now, that's a whole nother story, and who knows? But I don't know. Just get it together, guys. Six Flags. I love you. Man, you know that. I don't know. Get it together. But they're getting it together to the point that their stock has actually been going up, guys. Their stock has been going up, along with Disney stock and Universal. No, I'm not sure about Universal, but Cedar Fair's chain of parks, their stock has all gone up. Where it's gone up to $18.77 for Six Flags when it was as low as like $10 and something. So they're making all right and good moves, and they're not on the verge of bankruptcy. As I made a video about them signing that credit agreement amendment, where and other things, they got that credit edition where they're going to be saved till 2021. So they're good on that. Plus, with this new news of the stock prices going up, is all great signs, which is amazing. So I like the sound of that. Let me know what you guys think. I like it. I like it. Yes. Is SeaWorld stock going up? I know, as I mentioned, Cedar Fair, Six Flags, and Disney. But as of now, from what I've gathered, it's barely going up. So they have a. It's interesting. They're not going up nearly as much where it's really being talked about or reported. Let's just say that. But don't worry, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. They're taking precautionary measures to do so, so they'll be fine. You saw on Theme Park Labs, he talked to an employee at Six Flags Over Georgia, and the employee says Six Flags Over Georgia may. Well, fun fact: if you have watched my videos, I broke that news. Two videos ago, where the guy was really panicked, where I talk about closures and deferments of rides being deferred and postponed. I talk about it in that video, that with based off of, I got my evidence, based off of different rides, or sorry, based off of different statements by the CEO and other people, high officials, and also other ruse and rumors that I've heard prior at the end of last season about the 2021 season. It all comes to that they're going to most likely be open all year round. So it won't be 365 days. So I don't see that happening at all. So let me break that down. It won't be 365 days, but it will be year round. Now, what I mean by that is, and again, you can watch that video. What I mean by that is they will be open all year round, but on the weekends during the typical off season. So it's weird because they're usually just closed. They're usually just closed for 2 months out of the year, where they can do some maintenance and some construction and things like that. But yeah, so they'll be open on the weekends, most likely. Kind of like how Six Flags Over Texas just became year round this season, starting with that. Not the only one, but it won't be on the likes of Magic Mountain, who's open 365, or like Six Flags Mexico, parks like that. And from what I also heard, Discovery Kingdom's 365. But it'll be like just weekends with some rides, some sections may not be open. Some shows will be at limited standings and showings. So it'll be interesting. I'm all for it. I'm all for it because I think the park should be open up all year round, especially us being in the South. Yes, it gets colder than other southern states, but I think it's really good if they do open up 365. And I do believe it because as the CEO mentioned, that they're going to have to double down on everything to get the revenue back up. To do so, they're going to have more people come to the parks to get more revenue and buy more merchandise, things like that. So again, it's in that last video, 2 videos rather, that I made. Yeah. Oh, cool. No, it's okay. It's okay that sorry, again, 2 different screens. No, it's okay that you didn't see it, but hey, it's there. You can check it out. No, it's all good. It's all good. Hey guy, how's it going? I'm glad that you can make it. I'm glad that you can make it, that you hopefully all your schoolwork's going well, everything's good. Your week's starting out well and dandy and fine. Again, just hang tight. We're gonna have a great week, everybody. We're all in this together. It's all good. Bringing you guys some amazing content. If SeaWorld Busch Gardens Tampa plan to open up in June, does that include the parks that are not in Florida? No, it does not. They are going to go off of their own states and cities, what they feel is best. Because again, some parks are worse and some locations are worse than others. So this just as of now, other than the Kennywood news that I broke last week, other than that, this just goes for the Florida parks. So Jedi Master, how's it going? Yeah, I can see you on this account. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Let me trickle on down. Pantheon might be the first coaster to use gold and silver. Is that true? Well, probably gold and silver, yeah, but I've seen obviously silver, but gold and silver, that's really interesting. Yes, would love to have the park go year round. It never made sense for to me why it didn't go year round and why it wasn't, but it definitely has the potential to do so, and it definitely is likely that it will be going year round. Again, not 365, but year round. So yeah, I'm super excited about that. And again, I kind of showed some made a case for it. Well, I always try, and let me break this down for you guys. When I make these videos of breaking news or different things, there's some things that I share with you all, some things I can't share. But the things when I do share them, I always try and provide visual text for you guys to see, an image or something like that. I always try and provide proof. I don't want to be known for having content or breaking news of anything or providing news. And when I do news videos, because of course I do other type of videos, vlogs, different things, but when I provide news or break news, I don't want it to be a fluff piece. I want it to be backed full with evidence, and I always double and triple check it. So yeah, so again, I hope that it's open up 360. Sorry, I hope it's open up year round, which I do believe it will be. Yukon Striker, because it's the tallest dive coaster in the world. Definitely so. So I have a pick that you that you want to see. We have work that's done. Oh, absolutely. Comment in the comment section below, and then if you can right now, and then after the stream, I will contact you back and we can discuss that. I'm curious. You got me curious. That's awesome. That's cool. Yes, but I will check that out. Just do that, and we'll be in touch and we'll talk about this because I want to see what's going on with the parks and some interesting things. What's my favorite? My favorite ride at Six Flags Over Georgia. Yes. Well, while I discuss news and we just chat, you guys can also ask me questions. As far as camera editing software, my favorite rides at the park, favorite theme parks, what parks have I been to, just anything. You guys can get to know me a little bit more, and definitely, like you are, ask questions. My favorite ride at Six Flags Over Georgia besides Twisted Cyclone. First of all, how did you know that Twisted Cyclone was my favorite roller coaster there? That's awesome. Second, of course, Monster Mansion is incredible. It's amazing that we have that ride, and it's so iconic with the backstory of how it links to some other things. So I probably will do a video about that later, possibly. But yeah, that, and then what else do I love there? Goliath is amazing. It's also iconic, and also Scream Machine. Scream Machine, Great American Scream Machine is so amazing to me with the airtime. Yes, it can be rough to the untrained individual, but as a coaster enthusiast, I love the airtime on that, and I hope to get back on that soon. Hopefully, the retracking on this is going really well. Yeah, so I can't wait to feel it and just ride that ride again. Now, one thing I wish that they would do and hope that they've done, which probably not, is the brake run. If you guys have been on Scream Machine, the final break into the station is way too short because you go over that last bunny hill right into a stop, and it's so uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable. but it's amazing ride. And I just saw a documentary about it recently, so it's really cool. And I have something about that coming up later too. Uh, oh yeah, that's fine. You can do that. You can do that. But still, if you could do that, on my About Me page here on my YouTube channel, it has my email. You can send it to me there. You can send it there, or again, you can leave a comment in the section below. I'll get back to you because I always get back to people very quick, and then we can chat it up then and there. Uh, yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I know it looks amazing. Um, Monster Mansion is epic. It really is. It's timeless. It's a great way to escape the heat. It's just a great ride in general. It's very iconic, not just at Six Flags over Georgia, but all Six Flags parks in general, and even beyond that, theme parks. Period. Yeah. Yeah. There's a whole backstory to it. Jonathan, my man, it has been so long, good sir, since I've seen you and since I've yelled at you. I'm just playing. It's been a while since I've seen you, and I'm glad to have you back here. Welcome to the stream, good sir. Um, uh, yeah, yeah. I just think it's rough, but it's incredible and iconic. Screen Machine is. It's intense. It actually is. I was thinking about that when you are going over those bit of Bunny Hill airtime hills, you will get out of your seat and then you'll land. And then when you land in your seat, you're about to embark on another airtime hill. And it's so uncomfortable, but it's so amazing. So, excuse me. If you have some bit of health issues, don't don't ride that coaster or classic wooden roller coasters. Yes. Um Oh, sorry. Chat is flying. You guys are amazing. And also, shout out to you guys for showing up tonight. Amazing, amazing community pass holder family. Subscribe if you guys are all new here. Man, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for being here and being here for the stream. Um, which coaster put that run? I'll get to that. Yeah, I guess. Um, which coaster am I most excited for? Hands down, Iron Gwazi. I don't even need to. If you don't know what it is, I'm not talking about you, but just people. Then Iron Gwazi is so great, and people love Steel Vengeance or The Voyage at Holiday World or El Toro. All great coasters. But I feel, and it's very possible and likely that Iron Gwazi is going to take over people's number one top coasters. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. So the answer, yeah, Iron Gwazi for sure. Uh, it will. I believe that Pantheon will be intense at first, but if so, kind of like how the King's Dominion I-305 roller coaster, how it's a giga coaster where it did its drop and then had the huge like turn, the bank turn that had people blacking out. Now, if this has that at the beginning, they're going to definitely trim that roller coaster, and it's not going to be as intense. So, yeah, we'll see. My nephew rode Scream Machine for the first time last year. He said it was a rough coaster. I've waited in the queue line, had people get off of that ride and be like, this is the worst roller coaster I've ever been on. Hurry up, get me off of this thing. Like people like pulling the lap bars, get me off of this thing. That's the worst thing I've ever ridden. And then I took their place at the back row because you need to ride that in the back row. The views in the front row, but the intensity on the back row, back right seat, tremendous. It's incredible. Yeah. So, but it is very rough. But again, I understand if some people don't like it. I just think it's amazing. Plus, the airtime is incredible. Been busy. Glad to see you doing well. I'm doing very well. Thank you. Well, I'm glad you're handling business, staying out of trouble, staying safe, I hope, and hopefully to see you in more comment sections. Commenting something. I don't know what I'm saying, but glad to see you and hope to see you more in the streams again. I don't know what I'm saying. Whoo-wee. Man. Iron Gwazi looks intense. I saw something that great debate question. But Iron Gwazi looks intense. It probably really is intense, especially again before and or if, which I hope they don't trim it and make it slower and all that stuff, more controlled. It's probably going to be intense right at the opening time frame of it opening, especially it's fresh. So yeah, I can't wait. Um, where was it? Sorry, I saw something. I can't find it. Okay, there it is. Mako or Goliath? Mako. Mako is incredible. I grayed out on that drop. Like I don't remember it. I remember it, but I don't remember it. Like I grayed out on that drop. It was incredible. I got airtime on that. I didn't get stapled. Um, it was incredible. Yeah. But I've only been on it once. But Mako's on one of my top list of coasters that I've been on. So Mako definitely. But Goliath is incredible. It has a lot of intensity. Visually, it's super appealing. How it even goes out of the park. It's incredible. Um. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Jedi Master. I got you now. All right, you can send that. Or you already sent it. I'll check it out. Um. Oh, Jonathan, what is up? I'm glad that to see you here. It's always good to see you. Haven't chatted with you a while. But yeah, I'm glad you've been enjoying I assume the content. I'm glad you've been enjoying the content. There's a lot more coming up. Again, for you all good people. New video coming out 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday. What is that? April 30th. 3 p.m. on the 30th of April. This Thursday, Eastern Standard Time. It'll be there. It'll be good, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. And if you haven't too, you could check out the last video I did about showing some love to Whitewater. So I thought that was really good. A nice detailed in-depth video about that water coaster coming to that park. Super, super excited for it. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And also, just thank you for your love and support, everybody. Yes. Griswold family vacation vacay. Welcome to the stream. It's good to see you here. Back-to-back weeks. Nice. And also hearing Griswold family vacay makes me think of something that might have to do with Thursday's video. I don't know. We'll see. Super excited though. Yes, uncomfortable equals good with the roller coasters. Absolutely, absolutely. Let me catch up with the chat. Oh, you spaced it out. You don't enjoy the content. You've enjoyed the live stream. That's fine too. I appreciate that, Jonathan. I'm just playing with you. But you would love to see Six Flags Over Georgia go year-round schedule. I'm so excited for Iron Gwazi. We have plans for a second week of June, and I want to take a trip to Busch Gardens. Fingers crossed. It's very likely. As of now, I wouldn't plan anything to be safe for the end of June. That's the earliest I'd start thinking about and looking up stuff for then. It's good to book stuff too if you can, but don't put money down if you can't get a refund. So definitely, I think it'll be good if you just book, but you don't pay any money down until you get there at the hotel. So yeah, thank you though for enjoying the live stream, and hopefully you enjoy the content. I know you're a good guy. We've talked different occasions before. But yes, Iron Gwazi is going to be incredible. And then, it's looking like Six Flags Over Georgia may go year round. Hopefully, as you mentioned, fingers crossed. Hopefully, it does. You can't wait to get back on Justice League. Wow, great question. I don't think it'll be 3D. Now they're supposed to sanitize the glasses, but I don't think that's safe at all to do so. Also, how many people do you think there will be? Only 2 people on Justice League or any type of or for people at Universal Studios for what's that called, Transformers ride or Spider-Man? Do you think that how limited of capacity are they going to do? 3 people, 2 people, 1 in the front? Or Justice League is a little bit smaller, so maybe 1 in the front, 1 in the back, or maybe 2 people in 1, depending if they're a couple or together. But for example, Transformers or Spider-Man at Universal Studios, They may be able to do about 4 or 5 people per ride. I don't know. That's interesting. Great question. What coaster is more intense? I-305, Tower of the Terror, at Gold. I-305. I-305 is definitely way more intense. It's too intense for some people where they do black out, they gray out, and also it being and we're talking about the Intimidator at King's Dominion, not the one at Carowinds, but the one at King's Dominion is a Giga coaster. So yeah, I don't know. People don't like 300 feet or higher. So yeah. So I say I-305. When Gasm had buzz bars, it was an airtime machine. Yeah, yeah. What they got the old trains from Georgia Cyclone, right? If I'm not mistaken. After that, well now, and yeah, definitely so about the airtime. But it's still an airtime machine, and I love it so much. I really do. Gasm is it's so good. I love it. There's no hate in the game at all with it. Um, if you feel like commenting, then please do so. I appreciate you nonetheless. Thank you so much. No, you're all good though. But yeah, if you'd like to, that'd be awesome. It's okay though. Yeah. So, oh, hold on. I see Noah asking a question. Um, but yeah, so Apollo's chariot color scheme or Mako's color scheme. Ooh, good question. I know you want me to say Apollo's chariot. Uh, I think Mako though, when it's really sunny out, I think Mako is really beautiful. I think I love that color scheme though of Mako with that purple and like teal. It fits the park. It fits the theming of the park. But overall, if we're talking color scheme, I don't know why I love Fury 325 at Carowinds. I don't know why. It's just beautiful, like coaster, especially in a wonderful, beautiful, well lit, bright day. I don't know. You blacked out on Goliath. Over yeah. People usually do around then, and or the Helix is too intense at Goliath. Now you might be wondering, depending on where you're coming from, Goliath, which Goliath are we talking about? We're talking about Six Flags Over Georgia. Now, Goliath at Great America is actually my number one coaster right now. So that's interesting tidbit fact right there. But yes, like what Fiesta Texas has Goliath, which is pretty much a clone of Batman the ride at Six Flags Over Georgia. So their cookie cutter like coaster names thing. They reuse them, they recycle them. But we're talking about Six Flags Over Georgia. If anybody is wondering, yes, the Goliath there at that part. Yeah, it's intense, but it's great. What is my favorite B&M coaster? Um, my favorite being we can answer this in multiple ways. My favorite at Six Flags Over Georgia, or period. Wow. That's have I thought about that? Um, Fury, if not Mako, if not Goliath at Six Flags Over Georgia, if not, there's so many B&M, especially like at my home local park. Like Batman is, Superman is, um, Goliath's a B&M hyper. I don't know. That's a great question. I need to think about that. But probably the ones that I mentioned, kind of around that order or so. Uh, the return airtime hills on Goliath are incredible. Oh, they're iconic. They're really iconic. That coaster deserves the hype. They just need a new paint job. Please repaint Goliath. If you don't do anything else, which you do need to do a lot of other things, repaint Goliath. It's literally the first thing you see. You see it from the highway. You see it from long and far next to what acrophobia. Like repaint the ride, guys. Repaint. I'll help. My voice cracked. I'll help. No, but it's incredible though. Oh wow, whoa! I missed so much. Oh my goodness, you guys are incredible. Yeah. How hyped are you for Iron Gwazi and I'm super hyped for both to the point where I was going to be at opening day for both. Now, what's going to happen now? I don't know about traveling. I don't know what parks I'm going to hit up if they do, which they will open up this year, other than my local park or possibly Wild Adventures in Valdosta, Georgia, which is a little bit south from here. Um, but I think I would make the commute, the drive. I don't know about flying just yet, which I do love flying, but I would probably drive to Tampa to do Iron Gwazi. But I'm super excited for both, hands down. I'm really excited for both of those coasters. Absolutely. Are you going to Six Flags? I will actually, when it opens, depending on the day, and most likely, I will be there to document it with a mask on and with my standard Miguel the Annual Passholder sunglasses that I wear to make sure no droplets get into these eyes. I'm gonna wear my sunglasses regardless, and gloves. So I don't know. I don't know. It'll be super hot. I don't know, but most likely yes, I think so. Love the weekly content. Yes, yes. So what was it? Last week I posted, but the 2 weeks ago I took a break off. But before then, I did 5-6 weeks in a row of providing you guys with content. 1 to 2 videos a week, actually, of just new and different things for you guys to enjoy. As I mentioned in one of the videos, I just want to bring you guys like great content in general, but great content for this time. Bring you guys smiles and happiness so you guys can not just we talk about Disney, as I mentioned, Universal or any of the other park, but show Six Flags. But better yet, for the home local park people, Six Flags over Georgia some love. So hopefully I'm succeeding in that. Hopefully you guys are been enjoying it. Jonathan, I'm glad you have been enjoying it. Thank you so much for your support. It means a lot to me. I appreciate it. But yes, again, this Thursday, coming up, new video, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah. Um, yeah, yeah. So excited. So excited. I think, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I believe that. I believe that. I believe, like, say you and I went, that might be it. For Justice League, the only people that'll be able to go on that ride. Now, as far as single riders, it might be two. It might be two as well. You could possibly do three if it's like I said, like say you and I went and then somebody behind us. Um, Not likely, but it's possible. So we'll see. We'll see on that. But you're definitely right, I believe. Um, okay, so more. The trains don't. No, they don't. They don't, and also just how they look, they don't fit them. But it still runs very appealing to me. I like it. I like how Gasm runs. It's awesome. But yeah, you're right. They don't necessarily fit in. I don't know. Um, Batman has so many clones. Batman has so many clones. It's ridiculous. Um, I want to know which one people really love. And I forgot I did learn that like people really liked one of the clones more than the other, but people say I love our Batman. I think that thing really like whips around and it's crazy. Especially at certain like when it really warms up at like the end of the day, that thing really has a kick to it. Now, I think well, Batman has clone names, period, but definitely the ride, the it being B&M, it is definitely cloned and has a lot of clones to it. They say about ours. First of all, it could use a paint job too. Second of all, people believe that it does need a little bit of maintenance to it. I think it could, but overall, it's fine. Oh wow, sorry. Trying to catch up. Where are we? Oh my goodness, you guys are awesome. Um, no, the Batman roar is it's so, I miss it so much. I literally forgot about that roar till you just mentioned it. It is so epic. The interlocking well, first of all, the interlocking loops on Loch Ness Monster are the most iconic elements in the world. That is actually true where it's been in a lot of roller coaster themed books and different things. That ride in general is iconic and it's just visually appealing to look at. It's really amazing. Yeah. What do we have here? At least Six Flags Over Georgia repainted Georgia Scorcher, which is very true. That neat. How did they let that go that bad for that long? Is beyond me. You sell chip pieces um, the minute you walk from the parking lot, especially that far parking lot. I hate that parking lot during the summertime. It's like taking a hike. It's so far from the park entrance, which you can tell they used to have a second park entrance near there, near that area, that parking lot, because that trek all the way to the front is terrible and I hate it. But yes, I'm glad they repainted it because that wasn't a good look for when you first got to the park. Even though Georgia Scorcher, to me, there's not many stand-up coasters, which what that's a B&M as well. Huh. It's the best one in the world, especially that's remaining, but definitely the best one in the world. The best stand-up coaster in the world is at Six Flags Over Georgia, hands down. Um, well, you can sit with one in the front and one in the back. Well, if we're it depends. Like if we're a party and we know each other, we'll probably yeah. You're probably right. We could probably sit together, or if not, say if it's single rider and you don't know each other, it would be front and the back, like that. I agree. Uh, you need to do this ASAP. It is a universal quality dark ride. It is a great dark ride. It really is. There are people that haven't that there are people that like Griffin over Valraven because it's dose. Oh, sorry, you said dose. Does not have the vest restraints. That's true. Lap bars, vest restraints, different things like that really do um, affect people's experience. Um, I have learned to not really pay that much attention to it, as long as I like for certain rides like comfort. I like lap bars, where it gives me space for airtime. I like the new additions to some coasters of the comfort collars, but as long as you don't staple me into the seat where I'm stuck and I get no airtime, yeah, that's not good. But other than that, yeah, I don't mind too much. But it does depend on the coaster, the model, and just the time. I don't know. Wow, you guys are flying. Um, you love the one we have in Georgia and the New Jersey bat. What kind of is it a clone? The Batman in New Jersey? What is it a clone one as the Georgia one? Or is it a different model? If so, I don't recall what type of layout that one is. But that's good though. That's good that you like that one as well. Uh A polished chariot looks more appealing to look at because they just gave it the makeover. Yeah, anytime you give a makeover, it really can do wonders for um, the experience. Like I'm a theming type of guy. If I see a beautiful coaster, it's just gonna make it better. If you give me theming around the coaster, it's gonna make it better. You give me a themed queue line, it's gonna make it better. You give me theme music at the theme park, I'm in awe. I'm in love. Rather than Katy Perry blasting. If you guys catch my drift on that, Six Flags, love you, but yeah, no, yeah, the paint job can do wonders for a coaster. It really can. That's what I mentioned. That it's one of the few stand up coasters left, but it's also the best one. Georgia Scorcher is incredible. It really is. Flat ride, favorite flat ride at Six Flags Over Georgia. Hopefully it'll be um Catwoman Whip. Hopefully it'll be Catwoman Whip. But other than that, is it okay if I call the Joker Chaos Coaster a flat ride? Because to me it's not a coaster. I don't know. I don't really I don't know. You answer that question. You answer that question back. I ask it back to you. Uh, yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting question. I love the coasters. I love our dark rides. I don't know. It's a great question. Tricky. What about you? What is your favorite flat ride? Period. Uh, yes, people do heavily gray out in that section because it's really intense. The more intense, the better. Love it, love it. People do gray out there at that part. Um, I think personally, Intimidator doesn't need a repaint. I think it's actually one of the most glamorous looking ones with fresh paint. That could just be me, but that red really pops, and I don't know. It really brings that coaster's eyes out. Sorry. I wonder why you don't like stand-up coasters. Could you be too tall? I don't know. It could be. No. They're uncomfortable, especially for males. But they're overall, yeah, they're not amazing. But Georgia Scorcher is amazing. So I'll just leave it there. Uh yeah, I didn't want to say that, but yeah, Monster Mansion is incredible. Sean, how is it going? It's great to see you here. Thank you for joining us tonight. It's amazing to have you here and your support, and everybody else here as well. So thank you to you and everybody else in the stream. You guys are amazing. I mean it. That's true. It is. Um, Busch Garden says the overall, yeah. That's why it's the number one. It's the most beautiful theme park. Also has some of the best food rated in the world at any theme park. 100%. Oh, chat is flying. Sorry, let me go. Where am I? Wow, I am lost. Hold on, hold on. I have no what. I'm trying to find like where I was. You guys are killing it in the chat. Um. Okay, there we go. There I go. I have no idea why it would come out my mouth. I don't know. But it did though. It did. Exactly. I don't count it as a coaster either. I don't count it as a coaster either. But I just had to ask that question. I had asked that question though for you guys to answer and to bring a little friction and debate there. But yeah, it's not a coaster to me. Larson Loopers. Crazy, crazy dynamic there. Um, yes, that's true. But that part of the park, the USA part of the park, is really beautiful. I don't know why. Yes, the switchbacks has no theming. No, really, none of the queue lines there have much theming to it. You don't really get Six Flags parks aren't really in some parks. Like I've seen Mexico, which I haven't been there yet, which I would love to. Plan to in the future. They have theming with some of the rides. Even Six Flags, one of the Texas ones, Fiesta Texas or Over Texas, have great theming with some of the rides as well. Six Flags Over Georgia, other than Justice League, the queue lines really don't have. Oh, I'll actually say Batman the Ride has some pretty good theming in it. Like I think that's pretty cool. But overall, no, and Six Flags parks don't really do theming. They're amusement parks. They are not theme parks. There's a difference. Da-da-da. My favorite flat is either Acrophobia or why did I forget about Pandemonium? Thank you for that. I would actually go with those two as well. Man. I would probably put Pandemonium up there because it's newer. It has been having issues though since of little breakdown issues, but yeah, I'd probably say Pandemonium. But yeah, great choices. Great. Chat is flying. You like stand-up coasters. They're fun, they're unique. If you haven't been on one, it's worth the experience. It really is. Uh yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah, we'll leave it there, but yes, it is. Um Okay. Hold on. Let's see. Busch Gardens, VA, before Intamin Blitz, what's called Pantheon. Oh, interesting. Did not know that. People were speculating that the coaster would be red to pay tribute to Big Bad Wolf. I could see that because those parks like that, um, in like King's Dominion, different things, they do pay homage to past rides. Um, but that would be interesting, and that would have been interesting if it was painted that color. Huh. Yes, everybody's saying hello. Jeez, chat flying. You guys are awesome once again. Over Texas does have fun theming. I just wish I just wish that we had theming like that too. I don't know, but we don't. But they are the first Six Flags parks, so I don't know. I don't know. King's Dominion might be the most visually appealing Cedar Fair park in their chain. That's I would say that, or just seeing the like the beach, the water, and just the dynamic of Cedar Point. I would say those two for sure. Yeah. Cause Cedar Point just is just iconic in general with all the coasters and just how beautiful it is. But I definitely can vibe with you on that. Um That's true. I that's true. I know what you're talking about. But yes, it's still awesome for what it is and for how long it's been there, for the time that you can remember when you had a good time on Pandemonium. So yeah, we'll leave it there. Um yes, I have. It is a lot. That's why they make you usually cut through, or you can cut through. But yeah, I have seen it. It is so much. What is the longest queue line you guys have ever been in? I'll answer that first. You guys can leave it in the chat, and then you guys watching on replay, you can leave it in the comment section below. For me, would be at Six Flags Great America. It was the American Eagle. Had the longest queue line I've ever seen or experienced. It was so unnecessary that it is so ridiculous. You could put probably 3, 4 flat rides in that queue line to cover up that space. It's ridiculous. It really is. But yeah. Um Cedar Point. Cedar Point, hands down. Hands down, Cedar Point's better. Oh my goodness. So the malls are opening back up May 1st. Now, we'll just leave this theme park related. That would most likely mean it's possible that the theme park, Six Flags Over Georgia, could open up for May, the 22nd of May. So that's if everything continues to work out and things don't get crazy and just spread out of control or whatever. So that I guess could be a good sign right there for you guys. I don't know. Yeah. Catwoman Whip or the original Schwarzkopf flat ride. Yeah, Schwarzkopf is a interesting word and one of my favorite words to say. And also, uh, it's okay if you misspelled it. Are you talking about I'm trying to. I know of the old rides, but I never really thought of the model of a flat ride that's made by Schwarzkopf. Was it the wheelie? Are you talking about the wheelie? If so, let me know. Correct me. Uh, yeah. I think Griffin's fine. It could use a little bit of theming. Um, yes, that's true. I've seen it probably since that day, opening day. Probably be open about 3 times since then in my visits to the park at Six Flags Over Georgia. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, chat fine. Oh, sorry. Trying to catch up. Trying to catch up, guys. Again, you guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. Daredevil Dive has the longest queue line ever. Um, it's not the queue line that made that experience long for you. It's usually something goes on with that ride. Either lap restraint isn't working, or somebody gets sick on that ride, or something. The ride ops are a little iffy on that. So it's more so about the operations of that, and the operation times for that are they could go faster, but um, it's a pretty smooth Ursula Eurofighter though, to say so the least. Batman. Oh, no. Oh, if we want to talk about how long you guys waited, I'm talking about like the length of the queue line is what I was referring to. You guys are talking about how long have you been waiting for a ride. For me, if we want to talk about that again, I have a video about it. I waited 13 hours and 11 minutes to ride Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. Sorry, that was a long name. But at Universal Studios Islands of Adventure last June. I waited 13 hours and 11 minutes for that ride. Second to that was Tigress at Busch Gardens in Tampa. I waited 6 hours. Both of these were shut down, delayed. That made it that long because of uh technical difficulties, and more so because of the rain too. But yeah, crazy waiting was crazy. Enjoyed both, and then third would probably be uh the ride at, I forgot the ride, at Lego Movie World in at Legoland in Florida was 2 hours, something like that. But other than that, I've had pretty good luck. I was in my seat for 45 minutes on Pandemonium. Well, there you go. Because the floor wouldn't retract. It's amazing technology, and I did like a video on that as well, of like how the floor like moves. That's super cool, and I show it. But yeah, that's crazy. The GP was freaking out. I'm sure they were. They always freak out on that ride, which makes sense. They run to it, they flock to it, and they also freak out about it. I will be doing fan meetups. Well, that's interesting with how everything will be, because we probably won't be able to be in big groups when the parks reopen. But I was going to do it this year. I was going to do it as the park was opening and all that stuff before all these shutdowns. So, yes, I will be doing one whenever we can with everything going on. So stay tuned with that. But to answer your question, yes. Um, oh, but I guess the chat was flying by. But to answer that question, Catwoman Whip or the wheelie? Um, as of now, I'd say the wheelie. But we haven't seen Catwoman Whip yet in person. Obviously they have other models like this Supergirl one. They have Catwoman Whip at Six Flags Over Texas. Looks cool, but I'd say the wheelie for now. I was stuck in the switchbacks for Fright. Oh yeah, Fright Fest is insane. Half of the queue house was filled up 1 hour wait, but it was worth it as long as it was worth it. But Fright Fest is crazy intense, man. It really is. Especially like what Saturday nights. Sometimes they'll go to like midnight, which is crazy. No lighting there. Crazy experience. Also, they're definitely gonna have. That's gonna be interesting with everything going on with how Fright Fest will be this coming season. And also, before all this stuff happened, they were going to have major changes because the last season, opening day, there were fights. There were a lot of fights and stuff, and police had to be called in and all that stuff. It was crazy. But yeah, I don't know. I documented it on opening day. It was a great night, but it was kind of intense and it was crazy. Oh, there it is. That question about the wheelie. Yep. Chat. Disney World in the 90s before Fast Pass for Imagination, or maybe Canada's Wonderland. Both I heard were crazy time frames. Interesting. How long though? How long did you wait? I really want to know. But that Disney World one would have been fun nonetheless. Schwarzkopf Enterprise, exactly. 2+ hours. Still not 13 hours, but yeah, that is a while though. Trust me. When you're in that, and depending on the elements, the people around you, yeah, 2 hour plus wait can be really hectic. Um, yeah, I understand, but I just advise when the parks reopen up, just ride everything because you never know, like, like something like this would happen. So, just ride your rides though. But yeah, I think you should get on it again. I think you should get on it again. And if that's the coaster you really want to get on and it's really hectic, get there early at rope drop and then rush back there to ride it. You'll be fine. Have that be your first coaster of the day. Did you know before Big Bad Wolf was built by Arrow, it was supposed to be built by Schwarzkopf instead of Arrow? I did not know that, and I'm glad that that wasn't the case. I'm glad that it was built by Arrow. I'll just say so. Um, and we got new cars on. Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, it still has that. I don't know what it is. It's just probably a defect, like some type of deficiency with the manufacturer with that. Not nothing bad saying that about them, but it's probably that with what's going on with that ride. Flights of Passage queue line, longest I ever seen. It never really gets below triple digits, meaning it never really gets under 100 minutes. So yeah, but it did with the new rides at Hollywood Studios did help the queue line at Flight of Passage out a bit, and it lowered it to like 85 minutes. So hey, there we go. It worked out. Um, okay, yeah. I have heard that it has a pretty long queue line. Um, I have to see. I want to see a video of it, like somebody walking it or something like that, to see how long it is. But like long queue lines are ridiculous. Like I don't know. It's almost like this. If the ride isn't popular anymore this day and age, they should cut that out because there's no way you're filling that in. Like I get around the first opening years of a ride, you should probably have the long queue line. Makes sense. Organization, order, all that stuff. But say if it's been 30 years, cut that thing out and add something else there. I don't know. And then people need these coasters and rides and add mega signs. Like what? Leviathan at what is it? Canada's Wonderland has a beautiful sign to it. Entrance sign, like the logo's incredible, and other ones out there like that. I don't know. Pantheon could become the most themed coaster. It already has impeccable theming. The promo for it is incredible. We'll just have to see, but I believe that you on that. It could be. Also, the old Batman and Chiller Coaster in Six Flags. Is that great? See, is that Great America or a Great Adventure? I think with just the A, that's or that's Adventure. But yeah, I'm pretty sure knowing you, that's what you're talking about. But I had the longest queue line, X2 times two, since it's yeah. Oh well, true. But interesting. Tell us a GP joke. um, I'm trying to think of a GP joke. Oh, okay. Man, wait, I was gonna make a statement, not a joke. I already ruined it. Um, let's see. What's okay? What's a GP's favorite type of roller coaster? You answer that in the chat and I'll finish it. What's a GP or what's a GP's favorite type of roller coaster at a theme park? That's the question. That's my joke and you finish it. It's kind of like a knock knock joke. Hot take: Blue Hawk is insanely overrated. Thank you. Thank you. It really is. It has different, unique, incredible elements to it. It has an incredible head chopper element. It needs to be worked on with the lip hill, but it's still incredible. I think it's incredible. I really do. Um, let you know when we're doing the media. Yeah, definitely so. Now, again, this has to do with all this COVID-19 stuff, what's going on, when we could do this, how many large groups could be together, what's the size, we don't know. But when this all, airs out and we figure it out, absolutely, that'd be cool. I'd actually love that. Um, Absolutely. It's bad when acrophobia has a line. Still a great ride. Yes. I've seen that thing break down pretty often. Like it'd be up and then go down and like it's just stuck up there for a while. It's still great though, as you mentioned though. Um it truly was fun though. What Fright Fest was fun. It was a movie. It was an experience. It was awesome. It was awesome. Um it's long lines. Yes. Yeah, that should be a walk on. Well, not necessarily, but just a little bit of a wait. Yeah, I agree. Fright Fest was dumb packed. I had to ride two coasters because you don't go to, well, if you want a night ride, yes, go to Fright Fest and ride coasters. I'm there for everything else, the experience, the ambiance. That's usually me for Fright Fest, but yeah, it was crazy, crazy, crazy packed this past season at Fright Fest. But yeah, waiting like 3 hours for rides, coasters, and then riding only two coasters. Nah. By the way, guys, in the chat right now, what is your worst ever theme park day that you can remember? What is your worst theme park day ever? Mine would be, I'll answer first. Mine would be uh 4th of July. This past 4th of July at Six Flags Over Georgia was my worst experience because it was super hot and it was beyond overcrowded and people were just acting a fool. It was crazy. But that was my worst. What is your worst experience at a theme park ever? Let's see. I might actually do it as well. I actually not. If you guys didn't know that, I would love to do like the Diamond Elite. I'm thinking about it and I'm still contemplating on it, just waiting a little bit longer. But I just might do so. I might. And again, you could consider doing it too. I don't know. And I think right now too, it's a little bit cheaper to make that move to do so as well. Yeah, did a video about the pausing the memberships and other things that are going on with it that you guys can check out as well. You waited 35 minutes for Daredevil Die, but the ride op said sorry. It's funny. I know what you mean by how you're typing it. Sorry, the ride is temporary. There was like a splash of water on that Joker. Not the Funhouse coaster, but the other one, or not the Chaos coaster, but the other one, the Family coaster, which is actually a really good ride. Um, it's a really good family coaster. There's like a splash of water on there and it's shut down. That always has an extremely long queue line, especially for all the coasters that are at the park. Yeah, but same thing with Superman. I usually have issues with that with like ride ops. Just saying, it's crazy. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I understand what you mean by this, and I vibe with you on that. The little one, the newest pass holder, my son, he's doing extremely well. He is growing up extremely fast. Yeah, it's amazing. And had time to spend with him lately. With everything being closed, it's been hectic, but been pretty amazing. But thank you so much for asking, Michael. Um, um Yes, a lot of good parks, including there needs a good dark ride, or a dynamic attraction. I think you'll be fine for now with Pantheon over at that park, but a good dark ride would be really good fit for that park, and also a lot of other parks as well. Let's see. Six Flags Over Georgia needs a launch coaster. We dabbled in that a little bit before, but I do think that it's time again to try it. And I'm thinking about putting out a video about that sometime in the future, but I think it could work. I think in some way, some aspect, it could work that we have one at the park. I do agree though, that is it'd be hectic kind of to run, but I do think that it would be a good addition to the park and something that we really could use. Um, Also, if that park could get a giga coaster, it's over. I know there's some restrictions people say, but if it got it, it would be amazing. It would be amazing. But somewhere along the line, I saw Sean, you put I don't know to that GP joke question. The general public's favorite type of coaster is a Larson Looper. Terrible joke. I don't know. I don't know why. They think it's not a coaster to me, but yes, it's their favorite type of coaster. It's a terrible joke. You put me on the spot, but there's my joke. Wow, trying to catch up with the chat. You guys are amazing. Hold on. Wow. I missed so much. I missed so much. Okay, nope. Yep. Okay, great adventure. Yes, I see you. Okay, there we go. Wow. Okay. Let me not skip past. Okay. What is the future of King's Dominion after their 40 free spin? Hopefully they don't people aren't super upset on that. I don't know. But people are already upset about them getting a 40 free spin, which is crazy. They thought they were going to get something super hyped, but nah, you got that. Yeah. Yes, I know you hate Blue Hawk, but it's still a very picturesque ride. It's one of the most beautiful off-ride rides, coasters out there in the world, and it still has amazing elements to it. I agree. One that keeps the blood pumping and circulating, that would be good. I agree. 40 free spins. That could be. That's one of my guesses of what's going to come to Six Flags Over Georgia, and or if they do tear down Splashwater Falls, that could be a strong option. But also, Splashwater Falls could reopen. At this point, I love my water rides, but at this point, I would love something else, something grand there. Maybe not a 40 free spin, but if so, I'll take it. It's another cred. Yes, I know. I know. Steel Vengeance never lets up. Steel Vengeance keeps on giving. If you're saying, yeah, this shouldn't even be in a sentence or in by each other. Just period. Steel Vengeance destroys Blue Hawk. I'm just saying, how dare you, man? Yes. There's so many reasons I love Twisted Cyclone, but Wicked Cyclone does look really cool, from what I've seen. But two things. I'm split on this. Wicked Cyclone because I like it. Twisted Cyclone because I've been on it and there's a lot of elements that I like about it. So 50-50, not have love for both. I don't know. Let's see. ZX1 is the best haunted house, in my opinion. From what I heard, yes. Yes, I do agree. Jedi Master there in the chat, you can chime in on that as well. What do you think? As far as the theme, I do think it's incredible. I really do. From everything, I do think it is the best one, though. Got rain out of Hershey Park. Anytime you get rain out, especially if you travel and you have a 1 day, like that's your only day at the park, yeah, getting rained out is no fun. No bueno whatsoever. I agree with you on that. I agree. Getting stuck on wow. I would still I would still take Blue Hawk over Hurricane Harbor, but yes, I get what you mean by that. Hurricane Harbor is extremely small. They do need to add some things to it, but hey, it's all we have right there besides Whitewater down the street. Knots between Christmas and New Year's. Shortest line was 30 minutes for Montezuma. Next was 2 hours. So this was your worst day. Yeah, when you hit up like those prime times, it's really like hectic, but you still hopefully you had a very like Mary Knott's Berry, I forgot what it's called. Knott's Merry Farm. Isn't it that? Something like that. Hopefully you still had a good. No, that was your worst day. Never mind. I'm trying to be optimistic and go back in time and make you have a better day. I don't know. I'm sorry. Um I have upped our passes already to that just for Fight Fest. Very smart. Very smart. Very wise. That's very smart. Um you went to Six Flags Over Georgia and waited 15 minutes to get to the opening of the park. Went straight to Pandemonium and we waited 1 hour. You don't rope. Well, first of all, when was this? Second of all, you don't rope drop Pandemonium. But yes. Then you had to go to the bathroom. Always go to the bathroom before you come to the park. And I just jumped out of line. Yeah, that's not. Just learn from that and just don't do it again. I don't know. That's crazy though. Your worst experience was at the park was at Busch Gardens Christmas. What's with the people having bad times at Christmas? I don't know. A 3-day weekend at the park, but all 3 days it rained, snowed, and had sleet. All the rides were closed. Oh, that is like I think you might win. Like the odds that all those days that were that bad is terrible. I'm so sorry you experienced that. That's crazy. That's crazy. Last spring I got a heat stroke because I forgot to drink water. Let's talk about that blacktop. Let's say Six Flags Over Georgia. It gets so hot there during the summertime. It is ridiculous. I understand that. People have passed out. People like you need to have your cup with you and keep rehydrating. Even though sometimes at that park it's ridiculous. Just saying. No, no shame. No, just shade. Just saying that sometimes their ice machines are empty and you just have to dwell on how cold the beverage may come out in your cup. But yeah, it gets super hot there and uncomfortable. I don't know. I don't know. Six Flags Over Georgia does need a launch, but we also need the room for it. I agree. I agree. But I feel like there's a way to make that work. I really do. I really do. Um, okay, so you're continuing. But it went to Batman. I wrote it and then went to Goliath and wrote that. Well, you did that. I tried to go back to Pandemonium, and since it was late, they closed the line. I only rode Goliath and Batman in 9 hours. I'm sorry. What a day. What a day you had. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at you, but I guess I can because it's over. But you're probably chuckling a bit too. But yeah, that's crazy. Um, yes. They also are because of it's a flying coaster. But yes, don't have many good things to say about their ride ops there. Yeah. 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 One train ops, El Toro Orion reference. Yes, I I get that. And yes, yeah, there's multiple issues there that they need to fix. What is wrong with me? I scrolled too fast. Oh, yes. That's another thought. Something I may mention later on. Yes, Raptor model would be it'd be amazing to have that there. And it's possible to have that there at the park too. Went too far. Mistakes were made. Okay, there we go. We also don't have a high enough sky cap. We could work that out. Six Flags Over Georgia could work that out in some way to make something happen. Yeah. Again, if we had amazing tall skyline back in the 90s, early 2000s, I think it's likely to happen again. It's possible. And then also you can cut things down and have amazing rides. Like for example, we have an RMC coaster at Six Flags Over Georgia. It's not the tallest one by any means, but Twisted Cyclone gets the job done. Um, I think everybody could use. By the way, I watched a POV on Volcano. excuse me, volcano earlier today. That should never have left. That is an incredible coaster. RIP to it. Uh, are you guys laughing at my jokes here? I'm glad. I'm glad you did. Going to Stone Mountain on 4th of July. Oh my goodness, I've done that years prior. It's no fun. It was hot and packed like crazy. Yes, yes, I'm sure it was because I've done it. It is bad. And waited until the crowd went down. Never went back. Same experience. Mine was like 2008, 9. I did that. Never went back. Period. I was supposed to go back for the Halloween festivities that they had there that looked cool. Small, but I didn't go. But maybe next year. Let's see. Let's see. Um, it is a coaster. 40s free spins are actually coasters, in my opinion. Um, they can have some fun elements to it. I don't like them per se, though. To be honest with you. Yes, I would love this right here. I would love this, and I agree with this, and it's an idea that I have. Yeah, incredible location. It would be amazing. It would be amazing. Would you rather ride in SLC forever or stay in a log? Well, no, I would definitely ride an SLC. I don't mind like a nice suspended looping coaster. I don't mind that at all. Personally, people do have issues, and I get why you'd ask that. I don't necessarily mind that, but why? Of course, I take that over waiting in a long line. Um, yeah, I don't know. Now it depends how long is well for 100 hours and for what ride. I don't know. I'm just trying to. I don't something. Yes, yes, indeed. As I mentioned, um, eh, yeah, 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 yeah. I know what you're talking about, and yeah, most likely we'll lose it. I'd love to see them like rebuild it in some aspect to make that work, or if they close down the show and then they put this in for the season, something. But they should try to work that one out, though. Um, And Pirate tried forgetting the little drop in the beginning. It left a bruise on my arm. My stepmom punched me as she was pregnant at the time. Yes, multiple people have the issues, and people forget or don't know that there's a drop on that ride. It's still a beautiful ride and it's amazing. But yes, I get you on that and be warned on that drop on Pirates of the Caribbean. Sean, about the mod thing. If after the stream, I believe so. We can make that happen. I believe we can make that happen. Um, Jonathan, actually, I know you mentioned Knots. I'd actually planned to go to Knots this year for their anniversary. What 100 years, I think. But I don't know now with everything, especially being in its location. If Fiesta Texas can have wow. Okay. So yeah, if Fiesta Texas can have two RMCs, we can have them. Fiesta Texas, if you haven't paid attention, Fiesta Texas is Six Flags Experimental Park. It's their playground where they try out new things. I agree with you. I actually do 110%, and I've thought about this. I agree with you that that's possible. Um, yeah, I think that we could do two RMCs, and I would love that, and it's very possible. So you're right, but still, Fiesta Texas is their experimental park. So if it went well with them, it could happen with us. And she can, yeah, yeah, I think we can make that happen too. Yeah. One more question, guys, and I'm gonna head on out of here. I have some things to do. Time has got the best of me. Oh wow, we have an amazing amount of people here. Amazing engagement in the chat. One more question. What coaster or flat ride Six Flags or should Six Flags Over Georgia get? For me right now, RMC Raptor would be amazing. As far as a flat ride, that they should get. Probably just the ones that we are getting are probably what I would say for now. And then we could revisit that question at another time. But I think the ones that we have are coming are really good options. To be honest, um, Dragon's Tail, Airtime Machine, and yeah, not the most visually appealing, but yeah, you get some airtime on that. But I will say, I already believe that Python Plunge will be my number one. My number one. One more thing. Yes. Okay. All right. And with that being said, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. Cheers to you all. You guys are the best. Thank you for joining me tonight. When is the next stream? You said. What is today? Well, first, a new video coming out in 2 days on Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Six Flags related. So you guys should definitely stay tuned for that. And subscribe if you are new, and hit that bell notification icon so you will be notified when I post it and just go live next. Now, as far as going live, I will be live again Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, it'll be fun. So a nice, calm, chill stream for that. So 10 p.m. And then also every Tuesday like this, I'll be live at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Unless I notify you guys will be notified on either Twitter or the community tab. So yeah. But a stream like this next Tuesday, 9:30. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for joining me. Again, subscribe if you are new. Look out for that video on Thursday. It'll be amazing. I promise you guys, you'll love it. So make sure you share it, show the love, smash the like button on this video and that video and past videos. Tons for you guys to watch. Love you guys so much. For all the lurkers out there, I see you. Thank you guys for joining the Ninja Watchers, I like to call you guys. And for everybody watching on replay playback, hello to you. Don't forget, you guys can comment and chime in the chat, in the comment section below on everything we talked about. And just thank you for the love and support that you guys have been showing me. Again, new video Thursday. It'll be amazing. So catch you guys next time, and have a very blessed night. Stay safe, stay clean, and we'll see you guys then. Take care, guys.